welcome back to another episode of Siren Stories, the podcast, with me, JJ Barnes, and Jonathan McKinney.
Hello.
We are talking about episode 5 of WandaVision, which is called... Tell me again, because I've forgotten it already.
It is called On a Very Special Episode.
There's something about the episode names for this series that I just cannot at all hold in my brain. Like, literally, last week, I couldn't even begin. So, we are doing episode 5 of WandaVision, and if you are unfamiliar with our podcast, and point number 1, go back and listen from the beginning, because it's well worth your effort.
Of course.
Of course. And point number 2, we break our podcast into 4 sections. So, section 1, we break down the plot. We talk about all the events that happen in the episode. Part 2, we do everything that we liked.
Mm-hmm.
Part 3, we do everything we didn't like.
Yeah, traditionally not a long
section. And part 4, we talk about our thoughts and theories and ideas of where this is going to go. I will also say that when I talk about breaking our podcast into 4 sections, these sections blur. Like, we are sort of blurred. It's just a rough guide. It's not a rule.
It's not a hard and fast rule.
It's not a hard and fast rule. So, Jonathan McKinney.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 5.
Yes, on a very special episode.
On a very special episode. Right. We should, part 1, summarise the events of
this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so to start with...
The babies are crying.
The babies are crying and Wanda and Vision are fried.
I think, what stood out to me is we started this episode back in...
the sitcom.
In Wanda's world.
Yes.
Because obviously episode 4 was almost entirely out of Wanda's world.
Yeah.
So we were dumped straight back in again, and it's the 80s.
Yes.
With the big curly hair. And
so the music sounds like Cheers.
And it looks, you know what it looks like? It looks like Everybody Loves Raymond.
I think that's the 90s.
I know, but there's something about the way it was done with the style and everything.
Well, yeah, and the kids.
Yeah.
Not being babies for very long.
Yeah, it looks like Everybody Loves Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so yeah, you go in, straight in, the babies are crying, they can't get them to stop crying. And it's really interesting because when Agnes rocks up,
yes,
the world breaks instantly.
Yes.
Instantly. Because she's like, do I need to do it again?
Yes.
And I'm going to just say, because I'm going to jump ahead in the plot for a moment.
Okay.
It's really interesting, right, that Agnes doesn't need anybody to break her out of her awareness of this world.
Okay.
Right? When
she doesn't seem to be as mind controlled.
Exactly. And I think that's a really deliberate choice.
Yeah.
Because when Vision
nothing's accidental.
Oh no, I know, but it's really I mean, definitely. This is like definitely. Because when Vision is at Computronics.
I don't know. Something like that.
I know. I think it's Computronics. The guy, Nev. I want to say Nev. Tell me.
It's not Nev.
It's not Nev.
It's
Norm.
Poor guy is he's not in a happy way at all.
But the point is, he can't break character.
No.
Until Vision does the brain zappy thing, right? And then he can put him back again and almost take the pain away, or at least stop him expressing the pain. Agnes.
She's very casual about it.
She's very like, oh, should I go from the top?
Yeah.
She's
like an actor.
Like an actor.
Not an agency free.
Yes,
slave
exactly. She's very much more in control of what she's doing.
Yeah.
And Wanda starts doing magic in front of her. The boys age up.
Well, the first thing that's noticeable is that she can't make the boys do.
Yeah, she doesn't want them to age up.
Well, also, she tries to magic them to sleep.
Yeah.
And they just lie there
like,
nope.
Yeah, they won't fall asleep. She doesn't want them to age up, and they do it. And like later she begs them, don't age up, like don't do it. They are out of her control.
Very much so, yeah.
And Agnes is out of her control. Agnes isn't doing what she's doing because Wanda's forcing her to.
Okay, so obviously we are sort of very, very heavily told throughout this episode that, like Monica said at the end of the last one, it's all Wanda.
It's all Wanda.
But
it's not.
It's not. And obviously something is, because she storms out with the drone and...
Oh, yeah.
You know, we'll get to that.
Yeah, 100%. Like, she is. Like, Norm confirms that. Like, he is despairing because he has a sister and a mother and he can't...
Yeah.
Like, he is in distress. Like, he is suffering in distress because of what Wanda is controlling him, like, what she's doing. But Agnes is not under her control because Agnes is treating it like, oh, this is a part I'm playing for a reason. Do you want me to go again? Because you want me to pick up the babies. Vision doesn't, but you do. And Wanda's her boss, but not mind controlling her.
Yes. It's interesting because I don't know if we talked about this last week, but rewatching episode 1 during the dinner party, you know when Mr. Hart starts choking?
Yeah.
Right? And the wife is like, stop it. Stop it. At first, she's looking at Mr. Hart.
And then at Wanda.
And then she's looking at Wanda when she's saying stop it. And she's begging her to stop it.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because you don't get a shot of her looking at Wanda. You just see her looking towards where Wanda is from Wanda's perspective.
Yeah.
So... I didn't notice the first time
that
she was looking at Wanda, but she was. And so the implicit truth of that is that Mrs. Hart was begging Wanda to stop her husband from dying.
Mrs. Hart is also aware.
Or she's able to
communicate.
Because the reality's breaking because of the choking. And... You know, I don't know, but...
No, I don't know. But there's a definite... They have deliberately chosen to contrast Agnes against Norm.
And is it Herb? He wasn't in this one, but Herb is
Keenan.
The neighbour.
Yeah.
Who was chopping through the fence.
Yeah.
He seemed to be on the same page as Agnes.
I agree.
But Norm seems like he's completely lost.
Yeah, he's mind controlled. Yeah, I agree. Keenan Herb. I just keep calling him Keenan.
Yeah, Keenan Herb.
Keenan Herb. He is the same, yeah. And they were very suspicious of Monica as Geraldine. It wasn't in a sort of like, I don't know where she's come from. Like, she's come from. I'm confused by this. It was, no, she is breaking this story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas you're right, there are people, Norm, and others who are not.
Which I think means that Wanda is not in control.
She's not.
Of
other people,
everybody, because if she was in Norm's head and Agnes's head, because I think Norm says get her to stop, right?
Yeah.
And so we're cued to think he's talking about Wanda.
But
what if he's talking about Agnes?
What if he's talking about Agnes?
Right? Because that's entirely possible.
Like, it's all building to it being Wanda. And Monica says it's all Wanda. And it makes sense for it to all be Wanda. Like, there's no
Monica's just saying what she thinks to be true because Wanda just blasted her through town.
But also to feed... You see, this is what I mean. Like, all our sections get blurred. But we'll just roll with it, right?
Yeah. Okay, so you say what you're going to say. And then
what does she... Darcy
yeah.
says, like, that is way beyond anything Wanda has done before. She's been able to manipulate thoughts, but she hasn't been able to completely control an entire...
In Age of Ultron, she's able to make them all see things that aren't there. She makes Thor see the place on Asgard.
Yeah.
She makes Iron Man
I am mighty.
She makes Iron Man see, like, Dead Avengers and stuff.
Exactly, but that's seeing things that aren't there, whereas they prove... in this episode that it's not things that aren't there, it's things that are there.
Things that are there. So reality, like the material
And
reality
we
is
are
changing.
seeing that Wanda isn't in control of everything. Which means somebody else has to be
Of course, yeah.
involved. And I love the idea that it's Agnes. Because I love the performer.
Yeah.
Like, she is a great actress. I love her. She's great. She's very funny. Her timing is brilliant.
Yeah, and also, like, because she's quite a successful actor, right?
Yeah.
So she's probably, if she's going to stick around
I agree.
and be a character long term,
then she's got a role.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense. You know what, I loved Paul Bettany's performance in this episode.
Yeah.
Because he's heartbroken.
Yes.
Like, he's really broken because...
So are we going to just jump around? Because I agree, but there's loads of stuff I want to talk about, but it's...
No, we'll go with you because I just was thinking, but we'll go with the flow of the episode. So, the puppy... Sparky,
because he sets off a
electrical plug
thingamajig. So
there's just so many things.
Right.
The problem is the reason I jump around is because there's so much.
Okay, so
so many things jump to my brain.
The show jumps around. So let's just rattle through the details. So in the sitcom, you've got the babies turn into little boys. The boys aging up to being 10 from 5.
Because Wanda says we've decided you can't be responsible for a dog until you're 10.
So they just make themselves.
They do it, not her.
Yeah.
They make themselves 10.
Then obviously the puppy is killed after eating bad plants or something.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know that. It was very strange.
Well, because Agnes found the puppy, it's entirely possible that she's
killed the puppy.
Possibly. But so Wanda uses it as an opportunity to explain that life has consequences and you can't undo
and they're saying to her, but the thing is the boys are saying to her, Tommy and Billy, like, you can undo death. Like, they are very aware that she can, because she has the reanimated corpse Vision trotting around.
If that is what's going on.
My opinion is it is.
But he's alive.
Yeah.
No matter what the state of it is, he is not a robot slave.
No, he's not.
Of Wanda's, because
he releases Norm long enough to find out what she's doing.
Well, and they have they face off. Like,
oh my god, when they fly up, I know we won't want to be jumping around.
Yeah.
But I was like,
okay,
oh,
right?
Lord.
Okay. So we'll get to that. Let's deal with the dog story first, because there's not that much to it.
Okay. The dog dies.
So
poor Sparky.
The two boys want Wanda to bring the dog back, and Wanda refuses. She says, no, we shouldn't do that. That's not something that you do. That's when she sees the drone. So let's go all the way back to the start of the outside story.
Oh my god, this is the problem. There's so much in this.
In the sword camp, right?
They work out that if they send something in
that belongs
to the era,
then it won't change and they can use it. So, but there's a lot of conversation about whether or not Wanda is a villainous character, and obviously the sword acting director, he doesn't like her. He thinks that she's not to be trusted.
Whereas Monica makes the point that we made last time, that she could have killed her.
Yes, which I appreciated as well.
I appreciated
that it should have killed her. So Wanda kept her alive.
Yeah, she says she protected me. Like, she did not kill me. I should have died. Like, she protected me, which means when Monica says to her, "I'm your ally," she means it, because she's like, I know that you don't want to hurt me.
So there's discussion about whether Wanda is a terrorist, and then we've talked about it already, but they establish that the world is real in there, in the sense that it's solid matter, not imaginary stuff.
Like her bulletproof vest became a bulletproof outfit.
Yeah, exactly. So they fly the drone in. The drone gets destroyed by badass WandaVision.
I love it when
right?
her eyes go red.
And-
Like, oh my gosh. I love this character.
Yeah.
I love that she just gets this, she looks so intense, and then the red glow. Oh
Mhm.
my god.
So she.
I've loved her since she first appeared. I love this character.
So that was 2015, I think, Age of Ultron. So
Oh my gosh.
she.
No, it can't have been 20. It was.
Yeah. The first Avengers was 2012. So yeah, Wanda's been in the MC for 5.5 years,
Oh my gosh.
coming on for 6.
That's
So-
long. That's we've been together longer than the Scarlet Witch has been a character in the
Yeah,
MCU.
and they don't call her that in this. They say like she doesn't have a
She
nickname.
doesn't have a nickname.
Right, she doesn't have a superhero name. Which I
But-
feel like the acting director is saying that to say like she's not like the other ones. Like she's not like a superhero. She's something else. She's a baddie.
Yeah, but
But it's true. Like and
so
also
my
that means
que-
that they're gonna start calling her that.
yes, but my question is, has she never been referred to as Scarlet Witch?
She mustn't have been, because they wouldn't have.
They
That,
wouldn't.
They wouldn't have that line in another cinematic universe or whatever. They might. Maybe.
So was Quicksilver?
No, Pietro, not Quicksilver. He's Quicksilver. Obviously, we're not jumping right to the end.
No. But in other realms of these stories, he's Quicksilver.
I believe so, but I'm not familiar enough with the X-Men universe to
I mean,
say.
I like I like that scene where he like
Where
slow mo
he's-
runs around the room.
Yeah, he runs around and touches bullets.
Yeah, I love that. It's
Yeah.
a great scene.
So yeah, then she drags the drone outside of town and she has the face-off with...
Oh my god, that
um,
scene when she comes
She's so cool.
and she's so cool, and she's back in like the Scarlet Witch outfit with the accent.
But
and
even when you see her come in, it's just like, oh god. Like,
she's fearless.
She's
They've-
fierce.
They've got all these laser pointy guns directed at her, and she's not fucked. We're allowed to say fuck on this, aren't we?
Yes.
She's not fucked. She just walks straight up to them and throws the drone down. Like
Right.
she's badass.
Let me say something interesting, right? I'm just pouring a glass of wine. Pavlovian friends. Strap in.
I am also drinking my wine, Podlovian friends.
So, there's a scene in the first X-Men film where Magneto, right? The character,
He's her father.
in the comic books, he is. She never appeared in any of the X-Men films, and he never had children that I know of.
No, but I know
But-
that Magneto is the father
Yes.
in various.
In all the comic books, they are his
Yeah.
twin son and
Twin.
daughter.
Yeah.
So, Magneto has a scene where he is confronted with lots of policemen who are all pointing
No way.
their guns at
And he
him.
makes them point them
Because
at the.
he can control metal, he yanks them out of their hands and points them back at the police.
Oh my gosh, I love
So,
that. What's that in?
The first X-Men film.
Yes, I do remember that. I thought I had a memory of that, but I wasn't certain because I haven't watched much of the X-Men because I just don't like them as much. Like, I've watched them all, but I haven't sort of...
Yeah.
The Marvel movies I've watched like a million times, but...
Her doing that and forcing them all to point their guns at...
That says that she is. That I love that.
Also, right, I'll save the other thing.
No, tell me the thing, Jonathan.
Well, it's specifically the fourth part of the podcast. It's
all right.
theories.
Okay, yeah. We're still in...
We're still in
Plot.
what happened.
Oh my gosh. We haven't even got to the door knock at the end. We've only just got to like them facing off.
So they face off, but then Wanda goes back. She budges her way back through the force field thing and back into her fake town.
God, I love that when she comes through that fucking force
Yeah,
field. Honestly,
it's really
I was
cool.
because I mean I might have mentioned this last time. Like you watch it at a different point to me. We watch it separately because we are working like constantly. We don't get much time to sort of watch in the day, but we always watch it on a Friday. My time to watch it is when I'm cooking the kids' lunch. And I have like half an hour where I'm like baking jacket potatoes or boiling pasta or whatever. And I'm watching it and I'm trying to I'm just like letting the food burn because I'm watching this damn show. Like, oh my gosh.
So
It's
real good.
it's so good. I was watching it when they're facing up, and I had these potatoes in the oven, and I was just like, the potatoes can fucking burn because wondering that they're flying the glowing red. Like, oh my gosh, I was so excited. It was just, I just love this show so much. You know, I YouTubed about this show today.
Ah, very nice.
It goes out on Wednesday though.
Wednesday of next week.
This goes out tomorrow, which is Saturday.
So this podcast will be published on Saturday, the 6th of February.
Yeah, but my video where I
Maybe like
talk
the 9th or
about
the
it.
10th.
So if tomorrow's the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th then. Yeah.
So she is a badass and
she's fucking bad. Oh my god, I love this character. I love that I know I said before, I love that she goes into the accent.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking love it.
Okay, about that, right? Because
she doesn't have it in the movies.
She has it in Age of Ultron.
But she doesn't have it in...
She does not have it in Civil War. Or...
You know what I love? They talk about how she could have taken out Thanos.
Yes.
And then she's like, Captain Marvel could have done it. But then Monica looks all orcs because, like, Captain Marvel was her mom's lover. Or...
Well, no, they weren't lovers. They were friends.
Were they not lovers?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure they were...
Okay, well, that's...
In my, like... brain.
In your brain.
in my brain, they were lovers.
They were making some.
They were making some sweet Captain Marvel and Maria Rambeau loving.
Yes. Good for them.
But she looks all sort of a bit like...
Yeah. Wanda bodges her way back in and returns to her town.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we've already mentioned Vision has done the fingers on the temples of Norm.
Norm, not Nerd. Or
not Nerd.
Ned. What did I call him?
Ned.
I can't remember.
It's Norm. It's Norm. And so he has discovered that she is controlling him, and Vision becomes very concerned.
I just want to take a moment, right? He looks fine.
Which one?
Paul Bettany, Vision, in his real self, with the trousers, like the high-waisted trousers and the shirt and the braces.
You like his Niles Crane outfit.
I've really enjoyed all of his stylings.
He's very good.
And he's very good, but fine.
Okay. Good for you.
I have so far enjoyed the lesbian loving of Captain Marvel and Maria Rambeau.
Mambo number Maria.
I've had wine. And the styling of Paul Bettany. I'm just an equal opportunity here.
Yes, good for you.
Good for me.
Good for everyone. So, Vision unearths this clue about what's going on.
Yeah. Which is the first time, I think, because she's always been able to blink it away from him.
Well, in the end of the episode where he is talking to Agnes.
Yes.
He is left on his own and inquiring. He's a very inquiring gentleman.
He is. But previously, like, when the B-Man comes out, or, you know, anything happens, she's been able to magic it from him. But she's losing control of Vision now. Yeah.
I think it's more just that she never really had control of Vision. She's, like, what's happening is he's figuring it out. And he's confronting her more. Like, he was confronting her...
You've never spoken to me like this.
Yeah, he confronted her softly. Like, in, I think, episode 2 or 3, he was like... I think it was 3. He's, like, talking about how, you know, these strange things keep happening. And she reverses it, and he's just nice to her. But now... he's not... Well, no, it's not that. It's not even that. It's that he's so direct, and he's forceful. Whereas in the past he's been soft about it. He's been like, my darling, like, we've got to think about this.
Yeah.
Whereas now he's too switched on.
Yeah, you can't erase it if it's to the point.
Yeah.
Minus suspicions.
Because he's going to still have the same posture when she reverses it. Because it's something he's been carrying around. He's not been telling her. Like, he's not... Do you know what I mean? He's kind of holding on to his detective mission.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to be blinked away again, I suppose. Like, and he doesn't know who he can trust, and he doesn't trust her. And it's dead good because I love what he says about during, like, so they
fly up.
Don't lie to me. Like, when he shouts at her to stop lying to him, it's like, Jesus Christ. It's so intense. It's so intense, and like they both fly up, and it's so much more powerful than their conflict in Civil War, which I don't know if you can even remember, because, like, okay, so they differ on whether or not to sign the Sokovia Accord. Who gives a fuck, right? What this is Like, don't betray
Yeah.
me. Like,
No,
it couldn't be more personal.
This is so personal. Like the Sokovia Accords and like that stuff. Like, yeah, it makes for the story that it splits them up and that's fine. But it's on a bigger scale. There's more of them. There's more shit
also,
going on. This is personal.
Even in Civil War, the writers of the movie know that the Sokovia Accords aren't that interesting because they end up with it being about he killed my mom, right?
Yeah.
I don't care, he killed my mom. So they have a big fight because the Winter Soldier killed Tony Stark's mother. So
yeah, the
even they know.
Sokovia Accords are just a sort of, they're a movement piece.
They're not very interesting. I mean, they're not personal to
Exactly.
anyone.
Like, you can pitch all those characters against each other over this, but this is between two people in love and a lover's fight when you can... Because the thing is, right, I don't know about you, but I love both of these characters.
Yeah, very much.
I always loved Scarlet Witch, Wanda. Always loved Wanda. From the moment she busted out of that fucking door in Ultron, I was like, yes, this is my woman. I love her. Vision, I was always like, yeah, he's fine. But now I love him. Yeah. I love this character. So now I'm not picking a side. I'm just watching two characters that I love and care about and I'm invested in.
Yeah, and you're rooting for them both.
I root for both of them and it's powerful.
So he says, after they come back down again, I love the way that the argument, the fight is depicted.
I know. She comes down first.
Like... The flying is like the superhero way of sort of getting your battle mode on.
Yeah, that's literally it. Like, they are preparing for war. She comes down first and she's looking up at him. And he's not ready to come down yet because he's been wronged.
And also his guard is well and truly up. Like he's hurt and
she
scared.
Is the one who has lied to him. She is the one who's manipulated and she has to calm down first.
She's definitely kept things from him.
Yeah.
And that's obviously a betrayal to him.
Exactly. So she has to come down from fight mode first because she has to acknowledge that she is the one who's done this.
So when they both come down and the conflict is still present,
but
they're calm. Well, before the door, and it's right before the door. Oh no, it's actually right after the door goes for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's this line.
She's like, I'm not doing that.
And he says, I want to believe you, but I'm ignoring statistics completely at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's the way that a mechanical man says what we all do. Like, we all ignore the evidence of our eyes if we don't want to believe that something is true. And he just frames it as statistics because that's the way his brain works, right?
Yeah, no, it's so good.
But she
says, I'm not doing that, and I believe her.
Oh yeah, I 100% believe her.
Like, she is not in control of this world.
Like, she's marching out and facing off against the sword people.
Yeah, but she's not in control.
She's not control of that door going.
And I swear, when she opens that door, she is shocked. And not just because she recast Pietro.
Well, did she recast him?
Exactly. I just love that. Oh my god, she recast Pietro.
She recast Pietro. Okay, so at the door...
do you want to talk Evan Peters?
At the door is Evan Peters, who is the Quicksilver...
From the X-Men
Pietro Maximoff,
world.
or Pietro, whatever Magneto's surname is, in the X-Men Days of Future Past, and in the one other X-Men film, I think.
I see, that's the problem I have. Like, the X-Men, the earlier X-Men films are fine. I enjoy them, but I lost my...
Well, with Wolverine Origins, I stopped.
I fell off the X-Men real fast. Like, and I'm sad because I actually really like the X-Men.
Okay, so now we have to talk about, because that's the end of the episode, right?
Yes.
Who's the popsicle, right? Now
the way he talks, it's so fucking...
He talks like he's from New Jersey, which is where they are.
It's really striking because nobody else does.
No.
Like, he sounds regional.
So, dead weird, for a start. So now we kind of have to talk about the fact that Disney, the mega corporation that produces these movies,
has bought X-Men.
Well, they didn't just buy the X-Men, they bought Fox. The company, the company that used to produce the X-Men films, so they had the rights to produce X-Men films. Everybody who's listening to this knows this already, but we kind of have to cover it.
No, it's fine, cover it.
Which means that now the
Quicks.
MCU is allowed to take... Well, the thing is, they're allowed to cast anyone they like as any Marvel
I know,
character.
but what's really funny is, right,
Yeah.
in the previous the MCU, they killed off Quicksilver.
Mm-hmm.
But the same character exists in the, like, X-Men MCU,
Yes.
which they now own, and in that world he hasn't been killed off.
No, he hasn't.
So they've killed him off in their world, but they're like, well, now we're bringing him from this world, which is technically and historically our world, but it hasn't been filmed in our world. Therefore, this character didn't die in that existing world that's connected to our world and technically is the same as our world, but isn't filmed in our world.
So, in Endgame, because they introduce the concept of time travel, they build a time machine.
Yeah.
And the fact that, what's her name? The one played by Karen Gillan, Nebula? Nebula kills her previous self, right? Her past self. And doesn't disappear, right? So we're not talking Marty McFly, you disappear off the photograph, there's one timeline, and you just change the one that we've got. You create...
It's a Trousers
of Time. Well, she says,
to Terry Pratchett it.
Yes, but what's her name? The Tilda Swinton character says that it's branches, right?
Which is like trousers.
Trousers, branches, trenches, browsers, right?
Yeah.
But there are many...
She's great in that movie.
She's good in everything, including that weird zombie film. We haven't got time to talk about that.
No, we haven't got time to talk about that.
So, there are multiple timelines, right?
Yeah.
If there are multiple timelines, then there can potentially be infinite timelines, which means that all of the X-Men characters that we've seen before
are existing simultaneously. It's just
and can be brought into
which
the
is
MCU.
So exciting.
But they also don't have to be.
They don't have to be.
So the question is, it's a good question, right? Because Evan Peters looks like he looks in the Days of Future Past. I reckon he's the
only
same...
older.
Older, but he sort of looks like an eternal boy child anyway.
He does, but we talked about this because Podlovians, we follow all the WandaVision, I avoid all spoilers and actual scoops because I don't want to know those. But I do enjoy the gossip, the theories. I love that, so I follow that.
Yeah.
And we heard that Evan Peters was rumoured to be making an appearance in WandaVision. We had theories. We're like, what if the boys...
Yes.
I really enjoyed this theory of ours. What if the boys, the Billy and Tommy, age up? Which we were right about.
Right, they do.
But we were like, what if they age up to be Evan Peters?
Yes. But then we realised that he's too old.
Because we were like, because he's a kid. Then we're like, no, he was a kid, but we've been watching this guy acting for
a long time.
And we aren't kids anymore, and he's only a couple of years younger than me, so he really can't play a kid.
He can't play the 15-year-old boys.
Yeah.
So, yes, we theorised as to what he might be doing.
And we did theorise Quicksilver. We theorised this. So when he rocked up, I was like, whoa! One of our theories!
One of our theories
has gone right.
But, I'll admit, because we talked about this, I said that Captain America might show up.
When
you saw the grey hair,
I
thought,
know!
Is it Captain America?
I know! I was like... Because also... You know what? When they talked about in the outside world, they talked about sending in something that fits.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, that could be Captain America because he's not part of her timeline in the modern day. He's he doesn't fit anymore. So he isn't outside. He's not part of their timeline because he's gone. I was like, it could be Captain America. But oh my gosh, and we're into theories. Have we done this bit yet?
We haven't done what we like, what we didn't like. All we're doing is we're just recapping the episode. But we had to take a detour to explain about Silver from the X-Men Days of Future Past.
It's because I'm getting overexcited by everything.
I remember...
How unusual for me.
I remember listening to a podcast about superhero movies in 2014-15. And it might have even been before that. It would have been, 2013 even. There was some animosity between Marvel Studios and the not Sony, the Fox Networks movie departments, because they were both having this character on screen, right? And because he wasn't an X-Men character, or he wasn't an X-Man, I don't know whether that's the right phrase.
Person.
But, so there was some loophole that meant that Marvel could use him, but Fox could also use him. So they both used him at the same time, and they had a little bit of a war of words. And I just remember hearing about it. Now
they own him.
2021, and he's showing up as her brother. Like, it's very odd. So I've got
and
things...
he's not got the Sokovian accent.
Well, he might. You know what I mean? He might, because he doesn't sound like this in the X-Men Days of Future Past either. He's not like...
No, so you think he's sort of...
Get a load of this, huh?
Get a load of this. Like, it's so
Who's the popsicle?
It's so sort of really heavy-handed.
Mm-hmm.
It just... Yeah.
Well, he's a character. He's a character when he shows up at the door. He brings back the sitcom...
He does.
Tone. He's dressed like a character from a sitcom in the 80s.
He is.
He's behaving like a character from he's making jokes like.
So she didn't do it.
Nope.
Right. Wait. Before we get to this, okay. So we've got to the end of the episode. What did you like?
What did I like? I liked when she bodges her way out of Westview and faces off with the goons. I
loved that. I honestly, like, how these kids got lunch, I do not know, because I was in the kitchen just bouncing, like, oh my god.
That whole thing was brilliant. Like,
fucking brilliant.
I said at the beginning of this that, like, if she is villainous, then it'll be Darth Vader-ish. And it really is Darth Vader-ish. Like,
she's not villainous.
No, but I mean, in a way, she is. Like, she's in a sort of high stakes, guns pointing conflict scene with agencies that work for the good of, people.
She's a complex,
I agree.
moral.
I like it, but also like the Scarlet Witch is, morally compromised as a character. Like, she's not supposed to be an Avenger necessarily.
And she's excellent.
Sure. So I liked that, and I liked, as we've mentioned, the fight between. This wasn't like a fight.
No, but the flying
Vision,
up, face off between Wanda and Vision.
The tension that was in that was brilliant. Like, this is a couple. Like, they are in their home. They've got kids. They are
fighting,
having a row about something that's very important to them.
Exactly, I agree. Like, it's very real, and like, we're a couple. We're in a home. We're trapped in our home because of lockdown. We have kids, and
small towns is you can't leave.
Yeah, we don't fight very often, but you get your emotion. Like,
sometimes you fly up into the air, and I fly up into the air.
You know what? I am known for my flight ability, Jonathan McKinney.
And I'm ignoring statistics.
But the point is, like, it's relatable. I think for almost any couple to sort of be in a situation where you're like, this matters to me and this matters to you, and they're at odds, and we're emotional. And yeah, I think that it feels real and personal and relatable, especially when you like both characters.
Yeah.
Because that's like a relationship. That's where you both love each other, but you're still mad as fuck. And it's really well done.
The TV show is taking the Marvel Cinematic Universe into a new terrain, right? Clearly, where characters from other cinematic universes are showing up for the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of got a lot of explaining to do, therefore, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is, because this is something that I liked, I'm going to talk about how the writing is an example to everyone when it comes to the delivery of exposition. Right?
Yes, do that, because this show, honestly, it's inspirational. It really is.
They need to figure out a way of getting an audience to jump on board with multiple timelines, right? So you get the time machine in Endgame, but the time travel mechanics are not very clear in Endgame, right? It is kind of hard to figure out what the fuck everything means. Like, what Loki is it? Because Loki dies at the beginning of Infinity War. He's then obviously alive in 2012 when the Avengers movie is happening. When Tony Stark gives himself a heart attack in the past, Loki sees an opportunity, steals the whichever Infinity Stone that they were looking for at the time, steals it and vanishes. Right? So he knows who knows where that Loki's gone. But the Loki in the MCU is still dead. But there are these multiple timelines, and it just boggles my brain. I'm like, well,
so that means Loki
in that timeline is a different person. He never ended up on the ship with Thor.
So he could be right.
He could be alive and well. And if we're crossing over,
I like it.
then Hiddleston's.
It's
I mean, it's going to be a Loki show, right? So,
yeah. I had naively assumed that it would just be Loki
before he died.
Yeah, but you're right.
It
We
could
got
be that.
Vision after he died.
Yep.
So
there's a lot of work to do, and what Marvel's done is they have wrapped it up in this intriguing mystery, right? But not just mystery, like it's rooted in the one character in the MCU that's left standing who has the most pain, which is Wanda, and therefore everything that's happening is deeply personal.
Yes,
people are going to care, even if they didn't know anything about the MCU before.
Yeah, you see that woman, you care.
Yeah, because she's holding back tears all the time. She's fighting with everything she's got to keep her fake reality, the one that she is also probably imprisoned in.
Yeah.
Right? And her sons, and the few things in life.
She says, "I've got what I want."
Yeah, that have ever given her any happiness. So it's easy to do a crossover movie, like an event movie, where all the worlds collide, and it happens in comic books all the time. What's not easy is finding a way of doing it that is personal and also intriguing, right? Because we talk about the importance as a storyteller of using intrigue and not allowing your intriguing aspects of your story to become confusing.
Yeah, the difference between confusion and intrigue.
Yeah, once the audience is confused, that's a failure. You want them to know what they want to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want them to have questions that they understand and want the answers to. That you don't want them to be like, hang on a minute, I'm getting lost. This is weird. I don't understand, right? Which with a show like this, you're very likely to wander into that kind of mistake.
They're very clever to stop it happening. And I think, because I've talked before about how the earlier episodes weren't universally loved because of the goofy, weird, black and white, the hex quality of them.
And it goes on for as long as it does.
It goes on. Which means...
in so much as, again, to speak to my experience watching the pilot, or the first episode, realising they were going to have this dinner party, I was like, oh, that's what this episode is.
Yeah.
I'm getting no answers at all.
Yeah, well, it's the thing. I think they wobble this line. Because confusion versus intrigue is, we've talked about this a lot. Not on this, in the writing advice stuff. And it's a tricky one to balance because I feel like the earlier episodes, and I very much enjoyed them, so I was not critical of this, but I feel like there was more confusion than intrigue.
Right.
Probably until, maybe until episode 4, when you,
Maybe. I think...
Episode 3 started to give you some,
Yeah. Episode 3 gives you the moment when she's like,
you're a stranger, you're an outsider or whatever.
And
I agree, but it's not really until episode 4 that you have confirmation that it's now, that people are watching it, that something is going on.
So
they test this rule bravely,
but it's very well done, and like I say, rooting it in what is deeply personal to Wanda means that all the information becomes information that we want to get because we want Wanda to get it. We want we want Vision to get it. We want
Monica to get it.
We want, and so we want answers, so we're going to keep watching. And while we keep watching, we're going to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I liked. I wanted to talk about writing specifically because
100% agree.
Yeah. Do you have anything on what you did like?
What I did like
that I haven't covered already?
You haven't covered. I don't think so, because in the sense that all of it, all of the everything, it just, what I really like, I love that it's funny and kind of scary.
Yeah.
And not horror movie scary, but tense scary.
Oh, yeah.
When she turns the guns on him.
Yeah.
You're I was she literally could blast him, blast the fuck out of this guy right now. It's not beyond the realms of possibility.
With Marvel, I wouldn't have been surprised if they'd all shot him.
Yeah, exactly.
And she'd strode back into the...
I loved it.
I would have been surprised, but I wouldn't have been...
I love the Agnes character.
Yeah.
And what's going on. But we'll get to that with the thoughts and theories. Is there anything you didn't like?
The only thing I would say, because I've said nothing for a couple of weeks in a row, the only thing I would say is that some of the stuff that happened in the first half in the sword camp area felt a little bit repetitive from things that happened last time.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah, I
was
can see that.
hitting some of the same beats as before, and I wanted, selfishly and greedily, to be driven on a little quicker.
Sure.
There was a slight sense that it was spinning its wheels until Monica started figuring out about
the clothes. Yeah, I would agree. I don't think it started as strong as last time.
Yeah.
But it picked up its heels pretty fast.
Yeah, once they started figuring out whether it's real or not, I was like, this is new ground.
This is what we want. Yeah.
But yeah, some of the stuff about the first 5 minutes of that storyline, I was a little bit. And again, I was having a very nice time.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes, I was like, "This is okay. I can cook the kids dinner. I can potter about. I can keep up with this."
It was a little bit like a refresher. And
yeah,
given that we've all kind of we're not. It's not picking up new viewers. Everybody wants to watch from the start. They can. You don't need to sort of remind. You don't need to remind.
I agree. Yeah, because I feel like that's how I cook while I watch it is a good sign of this.
Yeah.
Because if I can potter around cooking and finding the cheese for the meat, and just sort of keep an ear, then it's like, yeah, this is fine, I'm on it. If I'm like, holy crap, I have to pause this, I can't miss a thing while I go to the fridge for the cheese.
Yeah.
Which sort of started around, 10 minutes in.
Yeah, that's.
I was like, yeah, I need to. I cannot go and just get the thing I need from the cupboard. I must pause my phone and then get it because I can't dare miss anything. So, thoughts and theories, Jonathan McKinney.
Okay. So.
There's so many I just don't even really like. It's very exciting.
So, the big one, right, with the introduction of X-Men's Pietro. Quicksilver. It is possible at this point that this television show will introduce the actor who played Magneto in Days of Future Past. What's his name?
Fassbender.
Yes, Michael Fassbender.
Right.
It is possible that they will introduce Michael Fassbender as Magneto and as the guy responsible for everything that we're seeing.
Oh my gosh!
Right? Because, as I said, when we talked about Billy and Tommy, the origin was that in House of M, not the origin of Billy and Tommy, but in House of M, Magneto uses Wanda's powers to create an alternate universe.
Oh my god!
Right, where she has them back.
I will and this is very exciting if this is what's happening.
Because it's clearly using her powers, right? The whole thing has been using her power.
But she is not fully in control. Okay, so here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Agnes must be involved somehow.
She must be in league with Magneto.
Yeah.
Right?
Is Magneto Ralph?
Yes.
Is Agnes married to Ralph Magneto?
I think so, yeah. Which means she's kind of Wanda's mother as well.
Oh my god! Oh.
Now, obviously, you have to say, Wanda's parents were killed by a Tony Stark missile, blah, 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 right? Because that's what the backstory was. But maybe that was her...
Adoptive
parents, yeah.
Right, so here's my question.
Yes.
Did you think that Agnes was married to Magneto before I said that?
No.
Yes! Score one, me!
Score one, ye. So no, I didn't. But it makes a lot of sense.
It does, doesn't it?
No, I mean, as I say, whether or not, at this point, you can't rule anything out.
No, this is just a guess.
if fucking what's his name, the Australian actor who was from The Greatest Showman, Hugh Jackman. If Hugh Jackman bursts onto the scene with claws like adamantium, is it? Adamantium claws. Tearing the shit out of stuff. I wouldn't be like, well, that doesn't make any sense because we've got one of the characters from my universe.
Yeah.
Why not more?
Do you think, right? Because this is my theory about Quicksilver.
It's wild, isn't it? Yes.
Right. As you say, they killed off Pietro in Sokovia.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But they've introduced new Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Evan Peters is a popular actor.
Yes.
Right. He is beloved by
many.
by many, by
Mm.
all and sundry.
Very nice for him.
Yeah, yes. Right. If there is a Trousers of Time situation,
Yes.
yeah, could, after, like, the Wanda force field dome is broken and people are freed, could he live on?
Yes.
Yes, I think so. I think he is going to be a permanent Marvel character now.
Which means that they might all be.
Yeah.
Which means Hugh Jackman might be doing more Wolverine. It means that. Well, who else do you want from the?
Am I allowed Patrick Stewart back?
Well, no, because he's now being played by what's his name? I don't know what to do.
Yeah, but can I have Patrick Stewart back anyway?
No, you need Fassbender and whoever the don't know what to do man
But
is.
I want Patrick Stewart.
Well, he would know what to do.
He would. I would trust Patrick Stewart to know what to do in all circumstances.
Exactly. So no, I mean I don't know. I think not because this fella Evan Peters. He belongs to the timeline with Fassbender and I don't know what to do, man.
Oh, my brain has gone blank again.
He was in the Shyamalan film about the character with lots of identities.
Yeah. He was in Atonement and...
Yeah, I can see his face perfectly well, but I just can't remember his name. James McAvoy. He was the faun in the Narnia film.
He's also
with Tilda Swinton.
He's also the voice of Arthur in Arthur Christmas.
Yes, he is, and he's very good. So if he's not Magneto, if he shows up as Professor Xavier.
Sorry, McAvoy, for forgetting your name. Like, complete mind fart.
We're really tired, so...
Yeah, also, McAvoy, thank you for listening to our podcast.
He's a huge fan.
He's a huge fan of us.
Because we are big fans of the X-Men movies, as we have already
established. Yes, thank you, McAvoy.
I don't know what to do!
So, my theories, right? I theorize that Agnes is going to, like, be something really fucking important. Like,
but Ralph is too, right?
Ralph? Oh gosh, yeah, Ralph. I would love it if I'm right and Ralph is Magneto.
I would also love it if Ralph is Magneto. That would be fucking brilliant.
Fucking brilliant.
And he's like, "You are my daughter," and then she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yes. Love it. Love all of it. Love everything about it. Yeah. I'm just very excited by this entire thing.
Yeah. So, thoughts and theories. Besides the Magneto thing, which you kind of have to question now.
Yes.
Because of this guy showing.
Yeah, he's rocked up. It's all open doors now. Universes are colliding.
It's true. He's got the same hairdo that he had.
Yeah, he's just 10 years older, aren't we all?
He's the guy. He's Quicksilver from because when we had the conversation like off the podcast about Evan Peters being in WandaVision, I couldn't get my head around the idea because for me, if they're bringing back the X-Men characters that they've established in the movies, they kind of have to do that whole
you can't be like only one of them.
You can't really just like pick and choose the one, but I suppose you can in this Branches and Trousers of Time scenario. But if they want to cast a new young Wolverine who's shorter, and because Hugh Jackman's done that for about 30 years at this point.
Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine for a long ass time.
Really long time.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they recast it. I mean, I bet he's tired of it. He likes doing his singing and dancing. He likes doing Greatest Showman.
He likes to be a showman. Yeah.
He does. Like, let him have some time off from being all half naked and sweaty.
But if he wants to be Wolverine, I'm sure that, that might happen too. But it's just very cool because, Magneto showing up and being like her evil dad and like trying to tempt her into being, out for yourself because the world is broken and
oh my
horrible,
gosh, and it would really
the world hates you. So
it would really make sense.
Other things regarding thoughts and theories. Okay, so obviously in the comic books she's a mutant. In the MCU there are no mutants because they couldn't have mutants. So she's unspecified. She's got abilities, right, that were given to her by Zucker or whatever the fuck in Age of Ultron using one of the Infinity Stones, right?
Yeah.
But it's never very clear that the powers were given to her or whether they could have been unlocked, right? So you could have had mutants this whole time, but for whatever reason something is stopping them from developing their powers, right? And that would explain why there's never been any mutants in the MCU, but you get to bring mutants into the MCU.
I love all of this.
So what the Hydra agents were doing with Pietro and Wanda,
Was
if this theory
unlocking
is true,
mutantage.
unlocking mutant power in mutants, right? Because they'd found Wanda and Pietro that were like Magneto's children living with some family, and then did all these experiments on them to using the Infinity Stones to unlock their mutant power.
Oh
Then
my
you get
gosh, I love all of this.
Mutant powers everywhere. As soon as whatever's stopping them.
As soon as that's bollocked, like, you're unleashing mutants.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't even. I'm so excited. It's just so much. It's just so much. I'm very excited. I love all of this. It's so exciting. I can't even cope.
Because they might have left themselves a back door, whereas they say, like, oh, he experimented on them and now they've got these superpowers. They never explain what the experiments were. So if they wanted to go down the mutant route, if Disney ever, ponied up the dough for the sweet, sweet Fox, goods, mutantage, then they can say, oh yeah, well, they didn't give Wanda her powers, they unlocked her powers.
I love this theory so much. I'm very excited. Oh my god, honestly, I love it so much. I love this theory because, right, I really enjoyed the early X-Men's.
Yes.
Right. But they just kind of got a bit lame and a bit boring. And I was a bit like, oh no, I do not care for the X-Men's anymore, right?
Also, Bryan Singer was revealed to be a horrible scumbag. So.
But imagine the potential
in Feige
world.
Capable.
Imagine what they could do. Imagine Feige in charge of the X-Men. Like, how fucking brilliant. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, Gambit will be Gambit.
Like,
and
right.
Yes.
Right. I'm very excited.
Good.
By the the rocking up of Evan Peters as Pietro is just saying, like, buckle the fuck in.
Buckle the fuckle in.
Buckle the fuckle. It's exactly what it's saying. It's saying buckle the fuckle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited.
I mean, beyond that, we could talk about thoughts and theories about what's going to happen in WandaVision. And I think we've kind of covered it. I don't think beyond Agnes and clearly Agnes's husband Magneto, there's much to say. Can you imagine if that's what happens? Like, we're going to be so fucking proud of ourselves.
Oh my god, I'm going to be like, everybody, we have proof that we came up with this idea.
And trust me, I edited out our conversation when we talked about the possibility that
he's Death.
That he not Death, but the Grim Reaper. I know the Grim Reaper is Death but not in Marvel. He's not. So
just slick it back in.
No, but we don't want that because that was wrong. And but this conversation I'm not editing.
Oh no, we keep this one because this feels bang on. And it wasn't as rambling and drunk as that one.
And he's an Irish Liverpool fan.
We love him.
Yeah.
We love a bit of Fassbender.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, thank you very much. Done? I think so.
I don't think I got anything else to say. I've done my big Magneto bit. So let's go.
Thank you very much for listening to episode 5 of our WandaVision podcast. And episode 5 is called...
I knew when we started it was something about this episode. Let me have a look.
Pausing it.
On a very special episode.
Honestly, I cannot. I'm like, pause this episode. Like, no, Judith.
Ooh, next week is called episode 6.
Oh, it's thrilling. Right, so yes, thank you very much for listening to our new WandaVision podcast. I will be putting links in the description to this.
Can I say one more thing?
No.
Please.
No.
Thank you. We are going to do a podcast for every one of these Disney Plus Marvel shows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because after this, you've got Falcon Winter Soldier. After that, you've got Loki.
Yeah.
After that, you've got who knows what else.
And we'll probably do some random ones.
Let's just talk about the MCU, and maybe some random
I'd say other stuff too. Like, if you don't mind, Podlovians, we are just going to, obsess over a story to you.
Yeah, but if you like the MCU and you like these podcasts and you don't want to hear us talk about, 4 hours of Snyder Cut, I don't think you'll ever watch.
Should we put another stream out?
No, I was going to say there's not going to be a test. We're not going to make sure that you listen to them all. Just delete it from your library.
Oh,
and move on to this.
If you don't want to listen to us talk about, I don't know, we could decide to do a podcast on cheese.
On cheese?
Cheese.
Well.
I like cheese.
A nice mix of cheddar and mozzarella. It really perfects your
Exactly.
pizza.
So yeah, just if we talk about a subject you love, then enjoy it. If you do not love our subject choice, then just ignore
Just
us.
skip it,
It's
yeah.
fine. But yeah, I'm going to put links to all of our stuff in the description of this. So you'll find links to our websites, our social medias. You can come chat to us.
If you like the writing advice, if you're like, oh, they talked about writing, then Judith, you do a YouTube series of writing advice videos.
I do a YouTube series of writing advice videos. Yeah, but everything basically, you'll find links to everything on his website where he does amazing music, such as the opening music to this podcast.
Yeah, which is outdated now because we're in the 80s.
We're in the 80s.
I think I need to come up with a new decade's worth of music in every podcast.
And yeah, I do the writing advice, and basically there's loads of stuff going on, so you can find it. Also, you can go to sirenstories.co.uk, and over there you can subscribe to Siren Stories and win free gubbins every month.
As clarified, 1 gubbin per month.
1 gubbin per month is given away to 1 subscriber per month.
Yeah.
So yeah, come find us, chat to us, let us know what you're doing, what you think about the old WandaVision.
Yeah, tell us if you think we're crazy idiots for thinking Magneto might be Ralph.
We are crazy idiots, but not for that reason.
I'm fully in on that.
I am fully in.
Do you know what I want, right? And again, I'm stopping you mid.
Finale. John!
Yes.
You know, you thought that he could be the Grim Reaper because of the horns on the helmet.
Yes.
Magneto has horns.
Yes, he does.
Magneto has horns.
Well, he's got a helmet.
He has a helmet with spikes.
The horns aren't quite right, but...
No, but he has horns.
Sure.
I'm gesticulating.
You are. Do you know what I want to see, right?
Me.
I want to see a tug of war for the soul of Wanda.
Yes,
right?
I do.
Between Magneto on the one side, right? And go with me, fucking Hawkeye on the other. Because he lost a family. He counselled her before. He said...
I am intrigued.
He gave her the speech.
He did, before
you go out the door, then you're an Avenger. And she went out the door and she was blasting Ultron robots.
May I just say I am in.
And it's like, and he shows up like late in the game, right? So Magneto is all like, he's got her on a dark path. He's got her turning to the dark side, and fucking Hawkeye shows up. And Hawkeye's the situation. People don't like him, but I like him.
I like Hawkeye.
Yeah.
He was always, I fancied him the most of all of them.
He has very nonsensical hair in Endgame.
No, but I always fancied him. I enjoy a sort of, like, that's my kind of man.
Yeah. So that's what I'm rooting for.
I am loving that.
Because I said previously it should be Captain America comes and it's like, Wanda, you don't want to do this or whatever. But
Captain America's a bit boring, but with Hawkeye...
Hawkeye's done it before.
Love it.
He's like, you stay in here, you're good. If you walk out that door, you are an Avenger. And then she does, and she blasts the shit out of those robots.
Oh! This is what I want to happen. This is what I want to happen. I'm very excited. Yes.
He's got some special like non-metal arrow that he fires at Magneto, so Magneto can't stop it.
Old-fashioned wooden arrows.
Like an old-fashioned wooden arrow. Everybody else has got metal, and they're like, "Oh no, Magneto's
because they're all technology and drones."
And then he's there with a fucking bow and arrow, wood. And he just fires it.
Oh my gosh!
Because he comes for Wanda in Civil War 2. And do you remember, it's with his bows and arrows that he traps Vision and says, Wanda, come with me.
Yeah.
So that's the guy.
I love it.
Right?
Yes.
That's what they got to do.
Yes. Everything he just said, yes.
Yeah. And Vision, is going to be flying around and phasing people, and maybe he can't because outside of Westview he's dead because of the CMBR or whatever.
Hasn't he had the stone hoinked at him anyway?
Yeah, but She
can't phase people. I mean, he can't phase people if he hasn't got the stone in his head.
Well, he's got the stone in his head.
Are you sure?
Well, he when he's Vision, he's got the stone in his head.
Are you sure?
Yes. I know that she saw him without it and he was all grey, but when he's walking around being Vision, he's got the big yellow Infinity Stone right there in his head.
I don't think he does.
Okay, well, after we finish talking, we'll quickly check. The Podlovians know, but I'm pretty sure he's got the Infinity Stone right there in his nogs. Doesn't. You think he's just smooth? Red. Okay, well, we'll check. Hang on. We've got IMDb. Let's see if there's a picture right here.
Yeah.
Doodly-doo. There he is. That is an Infinity Stone in his nogs.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Ignore me.
So, yeah, he can
God, I hate it when I'm wrong and you're right.
I know, but it happens so often. I thought you'd be used to it.
Oh, my God, I hate you. We've gone like well over our sort of like we're finishing now.
Yeah.
Thank
People
you.
turned off the podcast.
I
They missed
know,
the
they
best
were-
bit.
I know.
They missed the Magneto versus Hawkeye of it.
Thank you very much for listening. We will be back next Saturday with episode 6.
Yeah, episode 6. It's called episode 6.
Yeah, with episode 6 of WandaVision. And yeah, come find us, chat to us, let us know what you think, and we'll be back soon.
All right.
Bye.
God bless you.